Okay, so one of the things that I did not purchase at Family Dollar was a primer or a setting spray because they were a bit expensive. So I'm just going to be using this Reviving Aloe Mist from Dollar Tree. In case you're wondering why I'm using this is because it says very clearly on the back of the bottle that you can use this to help blend your makeup and help your makeup look more natural. This is a DUPE for MAC Fix It Plus spray, which is a primer and a setting spray. The first thing that I'm going to do is put on some foundation and concealer. It comes with a wet to dry foundation and a little concealer stick that looks like a little lipstick, which I thought was pretty genius. That's what it looks like out of the package. I'm really hoping that this is going to end up being my shade because it was the only one my store had. It's in shade light, which I'm assuming would be my shade, but if it's not my shade, you still get the idea. So I'm going to do this using as little tools as possible. So I'm just going to be using my little fingies. Okay, so as you guys can see, I put some on my eyelids to act as sort of a primer for my eyeshadow. And actually that's looking pretty good. I'm really kind of impressed with that. I thought it was going to be a lot worse for some reason, but it's very sheer. So I think I'm going to add a little bit more. I'm going to say that when you're trying to save money on makeup, your fingers are going to be your best friend as far as tools and using kind of what you have. Okay, great. So that's looking good. So now we're going to do this foundation. I'm kind of scared. I think this is going to be way too dark for me, but maybe not. So color's actually okay. It took all of the redness out of my face. It actually might be a bit too light, but frankly, I don't really think so because that's kind of my normal skin color when I'm not like dying of heat exhaustion. I'm honestly shocked, frankly. That was way more coverage than I was anticipating from a $2 foundation and concealer duo. And I love the little concealer like lipstick. Okay, this looks great. All right, so the next item on our list is going to be powder, and we have pressed powder as an option, and we have the loose powder as an option. I think I'm just going to open them both and we'll see. I'm going to open light beige. This is the really light one. This is probably going to be too light now that I've seen this. Okay, so I think this is going to make my decision for me. This says that it comes with the applicator and a mirror, which is great. But I think, okay, so it's like a half mirror inside the thing. But this is the applicator, and this is the same applicator that they come with at Dollar Tree, and I don't like them at all. Woo! That is light! Okay. So I'm thinking this is not my color. This is very light. And I also am not a huge fan of this applicator. It's not terrible, but it's not really something that we want. Honestly, I would rather not have the mirror and have a better applicator, if I'm going to be honest. Not terrible, not my color. Let's see what nude looks like. And then I think I'm going to end up using the loose powder. I think that'll set this a little bit better. Nude, this looks way too warm and dark for me. Actually, it's not too bad. I think nude is probably my color. It's still a little bit too warm for me, a little bit too yellow toned for how cool I am. Let's try the pressed powder. I'm starting to look like the Ghost of Christmas Past. So this one I have in translucent medium, and I think this will add a little bit of color back to my face. This one says it comes with the puff, so let's see what that looks like. So it's basically the same thing, just a little bit thicker. So if we're trying to save money and just use this palette, I don't know that there's anything that I can use for blush. I can use some highlight though. Let's put what I'm going to use as blush over that. Let's see. I'm going to try, oh, that's like a copper. So I think I'm going to cheat and switch to the Rose palette. There's a shade here that would be very similar to what I just used for highlight. Oh, it's a bit dark. I think there's a gold. Oh, you know what? Yeah, the one on the end here I think would be great for light-skinned girlies like me for highlight. Yeah, I think that looks really nice for highlight. This side of my face is just completely screwed up. This has been my trial and error side, so we're just gonna go like this. And then for blush, I'm gonna go in with this color, which is the lighter of the two colors that I was considering, because this one looks like I would turn into a cherry. So we're gonna go with the lighter one. Although there is like a matte. Okay, so since I've already completely screwed up this right side of my face with trying on colors and things that don't really match, I'm going to just use this shade here. Let's try out this shade. I think it's too light of a pink, if I'm going to be honest. Yeah. I'm still going to put it over here, but yeah, you can't even see it. So I'm just going to stick with that original shade. I don't think that looks too bad. And then we're going to go in with the lightest color of what I would consider to be the contour shades on this palette, which is this one on the end here. And let's just see. Yeah, that's rose. Let's try this one. That is orange on my skin. Okay, there's one more shade that we could use as a contour that I'm going to use that last shade just very, very lightly. Honestly, it doesn't even look that bad. All right, so I put a little bit around my forehead. I put some here. I put it a little bit too hard here, so I think I'm going to try to lighten that up a little bit with some powder. So it just gave me a little bit of color back, which is great. You don't need much. You can honestly probably skip it if your foundation wasn't as light compared to your skin tone as mine ended up being. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and do my eyeshadow.